Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Travis and Susie here from the Wolf Hunterz, and we've got a reaction video for you. We got this link. You can find that in the description box below. Click it and pick it, and you can request your own personal reaction video. It could be for music, movie scenes, stand-up comedy, live performances, documentary segments, sports, racing, and more for the Wolf Hunterz Reactions channel. Today's video is brought to you by Greg from East Tennessee, bringing us tribute to submarine pitchers in baseball. And then the title down here says Baseball Archetypes. All aboard the submarine.
All aboard!
Diving into the history of the submarine pitching style and profiling some of the best to do it. Who are these people? Okay. Do you want to read them or no? They'll probably say it in the video.
Yeah.
There's a note here from Greg.
Greg says, hey, y'all. During the slow pitch video, Travis mentioned the pitchers that threw sidearm and nearly underhanded. Those were the Submariners.
Oh, I didn't know that.
When he said that, the first ones to come to mind were Kent Tekulve from the Pirates and Gene Garber from the Braves. I remember seeing both of them live back then. 1979 was the year I got out of the Army. Pittsburgh was rolling that year.
Well, thanks for your service, by the way.
Yes. Their theme was We Are Family. You'll recognize it when you hear it. In 1979, everyone was referring to the Pirates as the Pittsburgh Lumber Company because of Willie Stargell and other power hitters they had on their team. It was a great year for baseball. I remember it fondly. Hope you like it. Be well, Greg.
Oh, this sounds like it's going to be fun and exciting. Interesting. Very cool.
So cool.
Guys, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell and feel free to comment below.
Sailors who serve on submarines are an interesting bunch. Packed in like sardines with their fellow bubbleheads, as they're sometimes called, it could understandably be an isolating experience. Out of these weeks and months spent together under the sea, they've developed a lexicon of jargon you won't hear anywhere else. Angles and dangles, not to be confused with egg-angers, bull George, goat locker, the phantom shitter, pillows of death, aka canned ravioli, the unique odor of a submarine.
Hold on, that is terrifying.
Pillows of death? Raviolis?
Wait, hold on. Are they in the submarine while this thing is happening?
Oh, perhaps, yeah.
While the water is... Stop it.
Submarine is described as a mixture of ramen, fish, and feet. Apparently this provides the perfect atmosphere for hazing the new guys with tricks like the mail buoy, machinist's punch, and the bulkhead remover. Feel free to look those up, they're pretty hilarious. I suppose what I'm getting at is, this is a small, unique bunch with a lot of personality, but they're totally misunderstood by the rest of the Navy and the military at large. Submarine pitchers.
You gotta have some guts, just saying, going in a submarine. I feel like, what a cool experience, but also I feel like being trapped in there, there's water all around you, like that to me, like claustrophobic, you know, I feel like I would be scared.
Understood by the rest of the Navy and the military at large. Submarine pitchers in the baseball world can relate. Wow. Submarine refers to the extreme arm angle they utilize, which is not to be confused with sidearm pitching. Submariners come from underneath, more like a softball pitcher than anything. A lot of these guys are nearly scooping up dirt. This arm angle...
I wonder how... First of all, how the heck can you do that? That's amazing. Secondly, I wonder if that is more beneficial for your like shoulder and arm movement to throw that way, or is it not better?
Well, I don't know that I'd say it was beneficial, but perhaps like less. I don't know. I feel like, man, they just do so much with their arm. Like, isn't it always? I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
Causes the opposite trajectory on their pitches in comparison to traditional overhand pitching, of course. In turn, this makes pitches hard for the batter to pick up. There's no ability to overpower a batter, as submarine fastballs generally top out in the mid-80s. It's all about deception. The technique is unusual and therefore rare. There's never been a large number of submarine pitchers in professional baseball, but they never seem to fully fade away either. Seems like every time a submariner like Darren O'Day enters the sunset of his career, a new, exciting submariner enters the league and carries the torch, like Tyler Rogers from the Giants bullpen.
Wow.
There's not a single submarine pitcher in the Baseball Hall of Fame, but that's not to say they haven't seen their share of success. Today we're going to dive deep into the origins of an often misunderstood player type and profile some of the best to ever do it.
So do they ever mix it up? Are they ever like, oh, sometimes I throw completely overhand, sometimes I submarine, sometimes I sidearm? Like, I wonder.
Yeah.
Before we get rolling, if you would, please like and subscribe. Help break down the outfield walls that stand between small ball creators like me and a good audience. Drop me a line, let me know what you think. Here we go. Cy Young was noted as one of the first to utilize the submarine style, but he would mix it in intermittently with...
Oh, by the way, while he said that, I will put the link to this video in our description box so you can go find it and not have our commentary. You can watch it in its entirety without any interruptions or anything like that. And give them a like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff.
Overhand pitching. Nonetheless, a legendary player is linked to the style. Jack Warhop was the first true submarine pitcher, meaning it was the sole technique he used to get outs. Warhop was a West Virginian who rode the submarine out of the coal mines and onto the Yankees roster. He had his ups and downs. Baseball Magazine once called him the unluckiest pitcher of all time. Call it bad luck, call it karma. True submarine pitchers didn't exactly get off on the right foot reputation-wise. You see, the next one to fully commit to submarine pitching was Carl Mays, on the tail end of the dead ball era. I'm saying dead ball as ironically as I possibly can, because he's the only player in history to injure another player on the field, and it directly result in death. On August 16, 1920, Mays, who was with the Yankees at the time, hit Cleveland Indians batter Ray Chapman in the head. Chapman was unable to get up off the dirt and was assisted by his teammates. Mays never left the mound.
And they did. I mean, I guess they didn't have helmet. They weren't wearing helmets then, right? I assume.
I have no idea, but that is very sad.
Yeah.
On arrival at the hospital, they found Chapman's skull was fractured. They operated on it, but he'd die in doctor's care the next day. Needless to say, this cemented Carl Mays' reputation as a headhunter for the rest of his career. He would often feud with Ty Cobb, and honestly,
he also has to live with that, you know, and he would, it's hard for everyone when something like that happens, you know.
Also, I think that it's not something that you expect.
Yeah.
Like, you're not like, oh, this is going to result, like, nothing I'm going to do is going to result in death. Like, there are some professions where, you know that risk.
Yeah.
But baseball isn't typically, one where you would think that.
Yeah.
Probably one of the few players who was even remotely as hated as Ty Cobb was. Carl Mays won 2 World Series with the Red Sox and 2 with the Yankees. He was the Major League wins leader in 1920, and though Mays wasn't the first to utilize the submarine style, his nickname Sub suggests that he was the pitcher who gave the style an identity within the game. Mays retired in 1929. Eldon Submarine Auker debuted in Major League Baseball in 1933. Porter Moss debuted in the Negro Leagues in 1933. Both filling the role as the lone submariner in their respective leagues. Auker with the Detroit Tigers, Moss with the Cincinnati Tigers. Eldon Auker would get a ring in 1935. During this postseason run, he was the first interview of a young Chicago Cubs broadcaster, a one Ronald Reagan. It was his first big break. Auker was the longest lived of all the 1935 Tigers, dying at age 95 in 2006. Alternatively, Porter Moss died tragically at age 34. His team at the time, the Memphis Red Sox, were on the way home for a doubleheader when their bus broke down, landing the team on an overcrowded Jim Crow-era train car. A drunk passenger was allegedly pestering a woman on the train, Moss tried to intervene and was subsequently shot. A doctor boarded the train to administer aid to a white passenger, but refused Moss medical attention because of his race. Walker and Moss, as similar as two players could possibly be on the baseball field, two totally different lives because of their circumstances. Ted Abernathy was the first pitcher we'd see totally rejuvenate his career by going submarine. He pitched for the Washington Senators from 1955 to 1950.
So he didn't start that way.
No, he didn't start it.
What?
Guess he
I thought
figured
this
out
is
he had a
something-
secret skill.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I assumed that was something that people kind of like,
Figured out when they were younger.
yeah.
Yeah.
57, he was so-so at best. He'd undergo shoulder surgery in 59 and re-emerge in the minors with a submarine delivery that eventually yielded success. He got called up to Cleveland in 1963 and saw 9 more years in the majors with 6
Wow.
different teams. Abernathy would start the trend of submariners being leaned on for bullpen duties. He would notch 149 career saves. He retired in 1972. 1974 saw Kent Tekulve come onto the scene and carry the submarine through the 70s, culminating into a 1979 World Series championship. Tekulve was an absolute workhorse. He's one of only 2 players in history to appear in 90 or more games in a single season. One of his 90-game seasons occurred when he was over 40 years old.
Wow.
He's the only one to ever accomplish that. He holds the National League record for innings pitched in relief with 1,436 and 2/3. Here's a weird record: the most career losses without having given up any earned runs. This happened to him 12 times. That's some Jack Warhop-ass bad luck right there. Gene Garber was also slinging it submarine style during this time in a career that spanned almost 20 years. 9 of these seasons were with the Atlanta Braves. He's 3rd on the team's all-time saves list. He's 5th in career pitching appearances.
The way that ball moves, too, like, it just seems like it goes, you know?
It's magical.
With 931.
Like
The
throwing a wiffle
eccentric
ball.
Dan Quisenberry would headline the
Which I
submarine
can't
pitchers
do.
of the 1980s. He's the most decorated submarine pitcher of all time. He was a 3-time All-Star and a 1985 World Series champion. He was the 5-time American League saves leader and a 5-time Rolaids Relief Man of the Year. Quisenberry couldn't overpower the hitter, but he induced ground balls as well as anyone in history. One of the more quotable players of all time, he said, quote, "I'm probably the only player who has more saves than strikeouts." Also, quote, "Reggie Jackson hit one off of me that's still burrowing its way to Los Angeles." And one more for good measure, quote, "The best thing about baseball is there's no homework. They don't make them like the quiz anymore."
All right, Dan, all of them right on the black.
How cool. I love learning fun facts.
Popularity isn't really a word I'd like to associate with submarine pitching, but if there were a peak popularity for submariners, it was the late 80s and the early 90s. The Mets bullpen featured Terry Leach. The Blue Jays bullpen featured Mark Eichhorn. I called him Mike Acorn in the last take, glad I caught that. And the Phillies bullpen featured Todd Froworth. Steve Olin made the pitch his own in this era. He made his way from the Cleveland bullpen to the mound to the tune of the Beatles' Yellow Submarine over the PA. Of course he did.
That's fun.
Chad Bradford would enjoy a long career as the most prevalent American submariner in the 2000s, and Shunsuke Watanabe would dazzle in Japan
Hey.
at the same time. He had
Wow.
what's widely regarded as the lowest submarine release point ever.
Whoa!
Pretty incredible to watch.
He skimmed the dirt practically. Oh my god!
That's
afraid to hit
wild.
your hand or something.
Yeah.
Wow! I'm gonna watch that. Again, that is.
Widely regarded as the lowest submarine release point ever. Pretty incredible to watch. My takeaway from a day of submarine research is this: you don't always have to be the best athlete to win. Just be the weirdest guy on the field. Hey, just be yourself. Take it easy.
That was great. That's really good.
That's awesome. That's cool.
Guys, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Feel
Dang.
free to comment below.
Jam-packed full of facts.
Yeah, that was cool. Thanks for sharing that with us. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you enjoyed hanging out, make sure you like and subscribe. Check out this link below to request your own reaction video, and check out the playlist. We'll get a sports playlist and a few other playlists, maybe racing, maybe bands, music, stuff, whatever. Stay tuned, stay positive.
We love you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
I just wanna pay my bills.